Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Dr. Markan Saikia's talk on foreign affairs. Today we are going to discuss a very important and current topic. This is Maldives' new leadership and India. We all know very well that Maldives recently had its presidential election, and this election, has changed literally India-Maldives bilateral relationship to a great extent. Why? What is the reason behind and what is the road ahead? We are going to discuss in this small lecture. Let's start. Now Maldives has a new president. Let's talk about him first. Mohammed Muizu. He's a new president-elect of the Maldives. He will be sworn in as a new president on November 17, 2023. Earlier, he was the mayor of the capital city of Male. He got 54% of the votes against the incumbent president Ibrahim Mohamed Solih in the last month's presidential election. He stood as the candidate for the Alliance of Progressive National Congress, that is PNC, and Progressive Party of Maldives, that is PPM. Now, the buzz is that this new president-elect, Muizu, is believed to have a pro-China leaning, unlike Solih, who has followed always an India first policy. So this is where we have a problem. Now, what is the new president-elect's agenda? I mean Muizu's agenda. The new president-elect Muizu has come out tough on India. He has clearly revealed his soft corner for China. From India first policy of the Solih regime, Muizu may shift towards a better friendly tie with China. He has already stated in public that the people of Maldives have decided and do not want Indian troops to stay in the Maldives. Therefore, Indian soldiers, cannot be here, in Maldives, against our sentiments, against our will. This is what the new president had said. Thus, it is clear that naval and air force personnel stationed on the Adu and Lamu Islands since 2013 to maintain and operate 2 helicopters and Dornier aircraft that India had given to the Maldives for reconnaissance operations have to be called back home now. Currently, a total of 75 Indian military personnel are there in these 2 islands, as per the record of the Maldivian National Defense Force. Again, the fate of the construction of a Coast Guard harbour base at Utturu Thela Falhu Atoll, inaugurated by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in May 2023, is uncertain, it seems. It must be mentioned here that an MOU signed by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar with the Maldivian Defence Minister on maritime security in February 2021 was at the center of the opposition protest in that country. For the opposition, this is a secret agreement signed with India by compromising the country's sovereignty. These issues are very sensitive and Muizu must look into them before taking any final decision or action. Now, let's look at India-Maldives bilateral relations so far. The Ministry of External Affairs rightly states that India and Maldives share ethnic, linguistic, cultural, religious, and commercial links steeped in antiquity. For long, we have been associated on these lines. The relations have been close, cordial, and multidimensional. India was among the first to recognize Maldives after its independence in the year 1965 and to establish diplomatic relations with that country. This is where we had gone ahead with Maldives since its independence in 1965. Again, in the year 1988, the bilateral engagement flourished between the two countries when India launched the Operation Cactus to abort or to stop a coup attempt by a group of Maldivians to depose the government of then President Mohammed Abdul Gayoom. The coup was led by a businessman called Abdullah Lutfi, who took help from the armed mercenaries of the Sri Lankan Tamil secessionist organization called People's Liberation Organization of Tamilam, PLOT. But the irony was that President Gayoom approached several other countries like Sri Lanka, Singapore, Pakistan, the US, and the UK for immediate help towards the coup. When all of them refused, and with the advice of the then UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, Gayoom requested for India's help, and Delhi immediately agreed to rescue the president. Now, there is a point, we need to discuss the crisis in India Maldives bilateral relations. Why and when it started. The cordiality in bilateral relations continued between India and the Maldives during the country's first democratically elected government in 2008. But with the coming of Abdullah Yamin to power in 2013, India's relationship with the island country had sharply spiraled downwards. Started deteriorating. He was famous for attacking democracy, raising the anti-India banner, and proximity towards Beijing. He started moving closer to Beijing. His only intention was to arouse nationalist sentiment, to lessen or lower Delhi's influence over the island country. When Solly came to power in 2018, once again, India-Maldives relations cemented towards better partnership and development. But over the last 3 years of Solly regime, an India out, campaign started in social media. This is the saddest part. The campaign was initiated by the critics of the Solly government for allowing Indian boots on the ground, Indian troops in the Maldives, and thereby they say the government is compromising the sovereignty of the nation. Though the Solly government denied these allegations, this campaign, India Out campaign, came to limelight when former President Abdullah Yamin led it. That became very, very serious for India. Now, another question, very sensitive, very critical question for all of us is how China is coming closer to the Maldives. Today, the situation in the Maldives has changed. China and India are battling for control over the island nation. China has started engaging the political leadership of the Maldives for quite some time now. This has become a cause of concern for India because China has simply found a secured place for both its investment and military expansion, probably in near future, right at the backyard of India. China's long arm of influence through money, muscle power, and wolf warrior diplomacy are a real threat for India today. With Xi Jinping at the helm of affairs since 2012, China is all out to encircle India in its neighborhood through its infamous string of pearls policy. We are all aware about it. Xi's aggressive plan for expansion of China's influence to the historic Belt and Road Initiative, which is known as BRI, has finally reached the Maldives, a country of just around 4 lakh people. Maldives is spread over 1,200 islands in 90,000 square miles, which crisscrosses key trade routes wherein both India and China vie for control and influence. Abdullah Yamin, the former president of the Maldives, first took initiatives to move closer to China, as I have already told you. Now, another question looming large for us, particularly for India, is why the Maldives matter so much for us. First of all, the island nation is situated at a crucial location in the Arabian Sea region of the Indian Ocean, and India shares a sea border with that country. Second, the island country is very near to India. It is just 70 nautical miles from the Minicoy Islands, or locally known as Maliku in Lakshadweep, and 300 nautical miles from the west coast of India. Thirdly, the Maldives is situated at the center of the commercial sea lines of communication in the Indian Ocean. Fourth, so far India has a preeminent position in that country, almost virtually spreading its influence over the entire nation. Fifth, it is truly critical for maintaining regional political stability and security. Sixth, the Maldives, irrespective of its size and global influence, holds the key to important shipping lanes that continuously provide energy supply to three big economies of the region. They are India, Japan, and China. Seventh, it is also an important member of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, that is SAARC, where India is the most dominant among all. And finally, the Maldives lies in the Indian Ocean, through which main trade lanes of the globe passes. And India, being a world power and now being the fifth largest economy of the world, will definitely have an eye over all its neighbors so as to build constant communication and grow trade ties with all of them. Now, what is the road ahead? How Delhi should approach Malay now? It's Delhi's turn now to engage the island nation. Meanwhile, the Indian High Commissioner to Malay, Munnu Mahawar, met the president-elect, and handed over a letter from Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulating him on his election victory. The Ministry of External Affairs, that is MEA, has stated that Delhi will look forward to engaging the new establishment in Malé on all fronts. It is certain that power balance between the two Asian giants may change with the election of Muju. The power equation between China and India. The fact is that India and China are already facing serious troubles in their bilateral relationship because of border disputes. And this came out in open when President Xi refused to attend the latest G20 summit hosted by India last month. Mali should not be apprehensive about making Delhi closer than Beijing. Muizhou must understand that China's engagement is a long trap. Many of the African island and Latin American nations are fast falling into this trap by accepting financial assistance from China. All of them, I mean, all these nations, those who are now, hobnobbing with China, should be aware that China's new partnership model is purely opaque and not time tested. Again, it is better for President-elect Muju to take a quick decision how to reorient India-Maldives bilateral relations before it is too late. His tenure should not be started with a negative note. Both Malé and Delhi need each other. They should forge ahead with mutual understanding and trust. Both the countries need to collaborate to fight larger challenges in regard to transnational crimes, humanitarian disasters, and natural calamities in the coming days. So, friends, India and Maldives, both the countries, when it comes together, size does not matter for each other. They need to engage each other better and stronger. So friends, I stop here today. I'll be bringing these kind of current topics to you again. Thank you for watching me. Kindly watch my other two channels. One, that is Dr. Markan Saiket's talk on national affairs. And number two, Political Science by Dr. Markan. Thank you and bye-bye.